Hold your fire! I'm a human!
Alright guys, what's up? It's Cody aka the Bear here of Bits and Glory, and we are back with my May of 2021 pickups video. Couple of disclaimers that I want to get out of the way right away. First, May is my birthday month, so a couple of these things that I got this month are gifts. 2, I had lots of Amazon rewards points this month. 3, a lot of the games that you're going to be seeing, I'll go over it when I get to them. I didn't buy them complete, all of them. A lot of the things that I did this month were buy boxes, buy maps, buy manuals, etc. Potentially I bought a complete game, had a cartridge, resold that old cartridge to kind of recoup some of my funds, because I had some collecting goals in mind, and being thrifty and moving in and out and flipping things and stuff like that was kind of my goal. Because obviously if I just bought all this stuff straight up this month, I'd be fucking bankrupt. But besides that, what else? Ooh, I'm gonna start doing horror movie pickups as well. Horror movie, sci-fi, and action movies. Whether they're Blu-Rays, VHS tapes, or DVDs. This month, there happen to be a lot of Blu-Rays. And I got a lot of these for free with my Amazon rewards points. So, I'm not moneybags. Don't get it twisted. I'm a very thrifty boy, alright? Alright, so let's get started. I guess we'll start with the Blu-Rays. Then we'll kind of get into some of my loose cartridges and games, some of my guidebooks that I got this month, and then I guess the quote-unquote crown jewels of the month. I have Razor on my lap, as you could expect, so I'm going to do my best to try to pull things up here and not have them on camera. Gotta move some stuff around. I really gotta come up with a better solution as far as getting things ready to rock, so to speak. Alright, we'll just kind of get up a stack here. Alright, so we'll start with some Blu-Rays. I'm just going to go through them as they are. There's no alphabetical order or anything like that. Some of these movies I haven't seen, some of them I have seen. If I've seen them, I'll just tell you something really quick about them. Not trying to spend too much time here. Again, this could be like a half-hour plus long video, so. First Blu-ray is VHS 2. I also got VHS, which looks like it is in this pile. First one. I actually really enjoyed these movies. I'm not a huge fan of modern horror, but a few years ago when I was dog sitting at my parents' house, I actually watched all 3 of the VHS movies. I found the first 2 to be pretty good. The third was honestly kind of shitty. They're pretty much found footage movies. I'm not a big fan of that genre, but I thought they did it very well here because it was sort of in an anthology style, and I'm a huge fan of Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Twilight Zone, stuff like that. So any kind of anthology sort of things I'm just naturally drawn to. So I picked those up, pretty happy about that. These were technically gifts for my birthday, sort of. Alright, we got Return of the Living Dead on Blu-ray, still haven't opened it. I had it on DVD years ago, but I figured, you know, with all the upscaling and stuff, I might as well convert over to Blu-ray at some point. And the price was good. Love this movie, one of the best zombie movies ever for sure. I also enjoy Return of the Living Dead Part 2 and Part 3. I hope to get those at some point in the future. From what I remember, I think the people that made this, or at least one person that made this, worked with George Romero on Night of the Living Dead. And they kind of parted ways, and Romero made Dawn of the Dead, and then whoever this is, I can't remember, made Return of the Living Dead. It's more of like a, I guess more of like a slapsticky sort of, especially this one, like punk-influenced sort of zombie movie. It's not nearly as dark and as grim as Dawn of the Dead. There's definitely a lot more like jokes and shit in this movie. It is really good though. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Alright. Oh, might as well do this. This I got from a Facebook group. A trilogy that I had watched a few months ago that I've been meaning to get on physical copy, which I did. Now I got all the Blu-rays. It is the Maniac Cop trilogy. So I'm pretty stoked about that. The first one is definitely the best one. I'll just say that right now. First one has Bruce Campbell, and it's actually it's a B movie, but it's it feels better than a B movie. It's almost like a B+ movie, if you will. I was actually pleasantly surprised by this one. Now the sequels, they aren't the best. They do a lot of that whole they kind of recycle the footage. They play literally the same scene in every fucking movie. It's a little ridiculous. Maniac Cop 2 revolves around the Maniac Cop teaming up with a serial killer, and Maniac Cop 3 is, I guess, more so the generic one of the bunch. He's resurrected from the dead or something. That movie feels like a little empty. It's definitely like clearly the one with the highest budget, but I don't know. I would probably go in this order. 1, 2, 3 is my favorites, but they're all worthwhile for a watch. But if you're just gonna watch one of them, definitely watch this one. All right, next we got Death Dream, which is also called Dead of Night and a bunch of other things. This is sort of like I'd never seen it before I bought it. I ended up enjoying it a lot, actually. One of those movies that kind of grew on me after I was done watching it. It's pretty much this family's son comes back from the Vietnam War. He died there, and they're like, what the fuck? He kind of came back. It's like sort of like a take on The Monkey's Paw. They wanted him back, and he ended up coming back, but he's not the same. He's basically like a zombie. I don't want to spoil like too much stuff in case you want to watch it, but it's essentially, it's kind of like, it's a time period piece on the soldiers that came back from the Vietnam War, how they just weren't the same again. And I felt like obviously it was a good movie, good effects. Tom Savini's first movie, I think, one of his first movies, and a good meaning behind it. And one of those movies that kind of like sinks into you after you're done watching it. Silent Night, Deadly Night. So this is funny. I told my fiance Oneida that this movie sucked, and honestly, it's not that good. It's pretty much like this kid and his brother, their parents get killed on, I think, Christmas Eve by a maniac Santa Claus guy. And then, you know, obviously he carries the trauma with him his entire life. And then on another Christmas Eve, he's working in like a toy store. I think Christmas in itself and Santa Claus and all these things trigger him, and then he ends up putting on the Santa suit. I think he had to get into the Santa suit. I don't remember if they wanted to do it to make fun of him or if he needed to fill in for Santa. It's been a while since I watched it, but he ends up basically just killing everybody as Santa. It's just really cheesy. It's honestly not that good. The sequel is like one of the worst movies of all time, but I actually enjoy the sequel more because it's just like really fucking funny. And also, it's one of those movies where if you watch the sequel, they recap this one in about 30 minutes, so you almost don't even get to see this one. But this was actually on sale on Amazon, so I figured, fuck it, I'm gonna grab it. Alright, The Howling. Got this. Never saw the movie, believe it or not, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. Looking forward to watching it. Maniac. Classic. Fucking classic movie. I don't want to spoil anything about this. If you guys want to see a very grim, gritty, just slasher movie with weird shit and good effects, watch Maniac. Pledge Night, which was actually on a video from Sega CD Universe. I haven't watched it yet myself, but it seemed interesting enough, and I wanted to kind of grab a Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray. I went out of my way to get this one. I think it's like literally about like a frat and pledging, and I'm sure there's murders and shit going on, but whatever, I haven't seen it yet. So going back to Death Dream, Dead of Night was one of the alternate titles for it, and there was actually a movie called Dead of Night. It's an older one, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it is an anthology movie, which is why I wanted to see it, and this was very cheap, so I decided to pick it up. And Oneida loves black and white old horrors, so right up our alley. Alright, got some more Blu-rays, guys. I know if you're tuning in for just the games, I apologize that the Blu-rays are going to take like over 10 minutes to get to, but it is what it is. I'm going to go a little bit quicker through these ones, because actually a lot of these movies I haven't seen yet. Ugh, trying to balance my cat on my lap while I reach over for everything. Ravenous, this is actually one that I have seen. I have it on Blu-ray. It's one of my favorite movies ever. The soundtrack is amazing. It's Guy Pearce and Robert Carlyle, and the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off is in it, and David Arquette as well. It's a movie about cannibalism and Wendigo, if anybody's familiar with that. Set in the old times. It's just super bloody, really tense, amazing soundtrack. One of the more underrated horror thriller movies of all time, in my opinion. Definitely see this one if you haven't. John Carpenter's They Live, starring Roddy Piper. I don't need to say anything about this movie. It's fucking great. It's cheesy, it's fun, it's cool, interesting message. I realized that I hadn't had it on any medium. Wanted to get it. Price was right. Got it. Alright, couple that I haven't seen. Motel Hell and The Town That Dreaded Sundown. So, looking forward to seeing them. Motel Hell I know is more of a comedy, horror comedy, I guess, and this one's more of a general horror slasher movie. Looks pretty cool. I heard about this before. I can't remember what the fuck it was. I was watching something that was inspired by The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I don't know if it was Texas Chainsaw Massacre or what. I don't know. It's a little blurry right now, so I'm just gonna stop talking. Anyway, next was Carrie. This was dirt cheap. If you guys don't know Carrie by now, then I don't know what to tell you. Also, I apologize. My chair is like just fucking creaking and making all these noises, and I don't know what to do about it. Alright. Couple that I haven't seen. Let's get these out of the way. We're almost done, guys. Alright, I got 4 that I haven't seen, so I'm gonna go through them real quick because I don't have much to talk about. Tourist Trap, heard good things. The Prowler, a classic slasher movie that I still haven't seen. Shocker by Wes Craven, always looked a little goofy. I kind of look like him, don't I? Looking forward to watching this one eventually. And The Burning, another classic slasher movie that I haven't seen. Similar, seems like, to like Friday the 13th. I think it takes place at a campsite and the dude's all burned and disfigured, kind of like Jason. Alright, 2 more. Ones that I've seen before. Zombie, which is Lucio Fulci, right? I think. I always confuse my my Italian directors here. Is it Lucio Fulci? Yes, Lucio Fulci. This one, I think, is called Zombie 2 in some places or something. I can't remember. There's some, like, chronologically confused naming convention sort of things. Not a huge fan of this movie, but it's okay. There's some very interesting scenes, interesting gore and kill scenes, which is why I kind of wanted to rewatch it. I prefer, like, the Romero series when it comes to zombie stuff. And this one, great movie, underrated. I was blown away by it when I saw it because I expected nothing. Slumber Party Massacre, one of the best slasher movies of all time. It is just watch it. Your first watch is gonna be fucking awesome, I'm telling you. Alright, that's it for the Blu-rays, guys. Now it's time to get into the games. Boy, we got a lot of shit to go through. So I'm gonna be quick. I don't want to waste all your time. Went on vacation to Salem, Massachusetts a few weeks ago and picked up some games at the game store. These were 2 of them. Atari 7800, Joust and Dig Dug. Again, you should know Joust and Dig Dug by now. Classic arcade games. Been ported a million times on a million consoles. Also got something else there, but I'll get to that a little later. 2 heavy hitter cartridge only pickups. The one, I'd love to get it complete in box at some point, but it's very expensive and seems to be pretty hard to nail down at a decent price, so we'll get to that later. That one is Evo, The Search for Eden by Enix, which is a very interesting sort of RPG, action RPG game where you eat things and fight things and you evolve. Like, you start out as like a fish and then you end up kind of growing and stuff. It's really weird. I played it like 10 years ago with Ricardo and I really enjoyed it. The pricey game, it's an Enix game, it's an RPG. You know you're getting quality, but you know you're going to be paying a premium for it. Got it for a really good price on Mercari. I was very happy. Like, we're talking like $80 under market value, so I had to jump on it. Same seller also had a game that I've been eyeing for years. Unfortunately, I didn't jump on it when it's cheaper, but this was a very good price considering the current market. And that's Demon's Crest by Capcom on the SNES, which I believe started Firebrand, right? From the Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts series, also from Gargoyle's Quest, might be the same character. Very interesting game. Kind of like an open-ended game. You can go a couple different routes, I believe. I never beat it yet. I only played it for like a half hour, 40 minutes, and I really did enjoy it. Hope to get to it at some point, hopefully on the YouTube channel. Alright, next we have a PlayStation 1 game. Next month you're going to be seeing a lot of PlayStation 1. Your boy goes in and out of like fucking collecting. First it was like NES earlier this year, and then it was SNES, and now I'm dipping back into the PS1, which is a little bit pricey right now, but I'll make it work. Techno's Deception Invitation to Darkness. This is like a first-person sort of dungeon crawler type of game. When I look at it, I get vibes of like Kingsfield, Eternal Ring, and various like From Software type of games, the older ones. Been meaning to play through this one for a while. I was also naturally drawn into it because of Tecmo. I love Tecmo Super Bowl, Ninja Gaiden, and all that type of shit, so very interested to get to this one. I'd love to play through this one for YouTube, but we'll see what happens. At the very least, if I play through it, I'll review it. Alright, that's it for my loose stuff. Okay, guys, we're actually moving through. We got a lot of box stuff to get through, but we'll go through the guides first. Very quickly. Ultima Exodus on the NES. This is the hint book. Kind of hard to flip it like backwards for you guys just to give you a little. The other ones are in cases, sleeve things right now, so I don't really want to go through them, but I'm trying to complete like almost every RPG possible for SNES, Sega Genesis, and NES. So I'd love to get like all the maps and the manuals and the boxes and the guides, and this is obviously part of it, so. All right, some more expensive guides. This was for my birthday. The official Nintendo Player's Guide for Chrono Trigger. Come on, who doesn't want this shit? I actually got it on an auction for about $30 or $40 lower than what it usually goes for. Well, I didn't buy it, my mom bought it for me. Thank you, Mom. Very happy to have this. There's a version of this for the PS1 version, but obviously I wanted the original OG shit for the SNES, and now we got it. Happy about that for sure. Love that game. Timeless classic. And then another SNES guide that I got in a lot, which we'll get to later. Ogre Battle by Enix. Very intricate, in-depth, and somewhat confusing, almost intimidating game. So I wanted to make sure before I ever played this game that I had everything that came with it. And spoiler alert, I got everything. This is just part of it. All right, and now I guess a mini spoiler. Let me rearrange some stuff over here. Please don't fall. We have the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Oh boy, it's a little rough. I got a lot on eBay for an N64 game. I know, you guys are like, what? Cody, you hate N64. You know what? I don't hate it, I just don't like it. All right, there's only a few games that I like. And this is one of them. Might be a very generic and almost boring RPG to some people, but I loved Quest 64 when I was a kid. So now I got it complete in box, and I got the guide. So you know what? I don't hate N64 to the point where I won't buy anything for it. I wanted this, I got it. Wonderful price, by the way. I got this both together for lower than what the complete in box copy typically goes for. So I was like, shit, gotta get that. It was an auction, hawked that. In the middle of 90 Day Fiance, got up and fucking put my bid in there. All right, next we're gonna get into some reproduction cartridges, complete, that I got from Flashback Games. I bought from them before in the past. I'll be honest with you, it took forever to get these. Forever. I realize that they are custom products, so things do take time, but I'm telling you, I ordered this and I didn't get them for almost 2 or 3 months. The first shipment got lost in transit or something and they had to resend another one. I don't know what happened, but anyway, I'm always happy with their end goal, end product, if you will. The customer service is great. I spoke to Ryan a lot there, and I don't know. It takes a while, but what you get is quality shit. These games are still sealed. I'm not opening them up. I got Mother, which is Earthbound 1 on the, it was only on the Famicom. So this is the translated version, and I ended up getting the special gold cartridge inside, but again, I'm not gonna unbox this stuff right now. All of Shop Flashback Entertainment, sorry, stuff comes with like everything you can imagine. Instruction manuals, maps, stickers, it's just loaded to the brim inside, which is super duper cool if you're gonna be buying a reproduction. You want it to be as unique and as interesting as it would be if it was a real product, and they do a great job at that. I purchased some Mario games from them in the past, and top-notch stuff. All right, this is gonna be tough putting all this stuff back. We got 2 more NES games I'll go through quickly. Sweet Home, again, this is a reproduction complete by Flashback. It's a Capcom game, Japanese only. This was the inspiration for Resident Evil, essentially. It's like an RPG that takes place in a mansion, ghosts, spoopy stuff, horror, blah, blah, blah. Been meaning to play that for a long time. And I recently completed Final Fantasy 1 in the box, and I also got Final Fantasy 3, I'm pretty sure from them years ago. So it was only natural that I got Final Fantasy 2 from them as well. So now I have the original 3 Final Fantasy games on the NES, complete in box, in English, ready to rock. Excited to get through the Final Fantasy series, the early games. I never played 2 or 3. So I heard mixed reviews about both of them, but I always find the silver lining, guys, so. Next is the last one that I got from Flashback, a Super Nintendo, complete in box. Chrono Trigger, Flames of Eternity, which is the unofficial sequel to Chrono Trigger on the SNES. This went under another name and then somebody else picked it up and finished it, because whoever started it basically didn't finish it. What was it? Crimson Echoes, I think? And I'm pretty sure that this is like the complete version that the guy finished it and stuff. Apparently for people that love Chrono Trigger, they'll absolutely love this game. So I'm excited to get to that too as well. Alright. Trying to make some room, and now we are down the home stretch, guys. Couple NES games and then a bunch of SNES stuff. So I'm just gonna flash both of these up so we're not taking up too much time. Again, on a RPG kick, wanting to get everything complete. Got Dungeon Magic as well from that video game store in Salem, Massachusetts. I can't remember the name of it right now, I do apologize. I'll put it in the description below so you guys can check them out if you're ever in the area. Cool owner, talked to him for a little while. Complete in box. I had this actually back in the day and I sold it, and now I got it back, so it was a good price. And Ultima Exodus, which you saw the guide for earlier. You know, now I got the guide and I got the game complete in box, so good stuff. And apparently, from what I remember, this is one of the better early Ultima games, so I'm pretty excited for that as well. Okay, and now's where things get a little tricky. I'll do my best to kind of get through here as quick as possible. Some of these games I already had, some of them I was missing only maps and stuff like that. I'll just kind of get to that and what I got. So, Addams Family on the SNES, one of my favorite action platformers on the SNES. I think it's incredibly underrated. I had the cart and the manual, and I got the box. So, didn't get everything, just got the box. Just keep all this stuff in mind, okay? You don't think I'm a millionaire. Alright. Tecmo Secret of the Stars, an RPG by Tecmo. Apparently it's not that great, but I purchased the cartridge in the box from Robot City Games in New York a couple years ago, and I was missing the manual, so I recently bought the manual. So now it's complete in box. This one, to my knowledge, did not come with a map or anything like that. Next is the 7th Saga on the SNES, another Enix RPG. Apparently this one's very hard, I still have yet to get to it. I already had the cart in the box for quite a long time. I didn't have the instruction manual or the map, so I recently acquired the instruction manual and the map, and it is now complete. Wanderers from Ys 3 on the SNES. Apparently this is like the worst version of it. It's not bad, but apparently like the Sega Genesis version and the Turbo version, I think Turbo CD might be, are a little bit superior, but this is still a good game and I really wanted it for my collection. Interesting sort of side-scrolling action RPG. I had the cartridge and I ended up getting this complete in box for my birthday from Oneida, and then I ended up selling the cartridge, I believe, to StallTalk. Another birthday gift from Oneida, Wizardry 5, right? Yes, Wizardry 5, complete in box. Capcom first-person dungeon crawler RPG. Didn't have this one, and now I do. So just check another one off the SNES RPG list. Alright, Secret of Mana, complete in box. This comes with the manual and the maps. My mom got this for me for my birthday. I ended up having another cartridge, which I sold to StallTalk to recoup some of my funds, and now I got this legendary game, pretty minty by the way. Pretty happy about that. Complete in the box. Paladin's Quest, another game that I had already had the cartridge for, but I didn't have the box and the manual and the maps and stuff, charts, and now I do. I recently sold this, my double of the cartridge, to Jimmy, so hopefully all you guys that I've been selling stuff to, even the people on eBay, are enjoying these games, because I gave it to you all for good prices. Another Enix RPG, by the way. I believe it's called Ravenous in Japan. Another Enix RPG, Illusion of Gaia. I played through this on stream actually a while ago. This is one that I had the cartridge for a long time, sold that to StallTalk, and I recently acquired the box. I got the boxed version, and then I sold that cartridge to StallTalk, and I acquired the manual and the map elsewhere to put it together and get a complete copy. I'm getting exhausted here. I'm so sorry, guys. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. I had this one boxed with a manual, and then I ended up buying a map and manual lot on eBay and sold my extra copy of the game. No, I didn't sell my extra copy of the game. I didn't have an extra copy. I sold my extra manual to Jimmy. So now I have a complete copy of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. One that I never got around to, believe it or not. but one of these days. Draken, complete in box. Another one, guys, had the cartridge, sold it to Stall Talk, ended up getting a complete copy, and here we are. Not the best RPG from what I remember. It's still decent, but it's very interesting, kind of has a learning curve. I'm pretty sure Dragon View is a sequel, which is a lot more expensive, but also a lot better. All right, gonna kind of knock out a couple here, back to back. Breath of Fire and Breath of Fire 2 complete in the box. I actually used to have this complete in the box, and I sold it on eBay years ago. Luckily, my mom was able to find some pretty good auctions on eBay for me for my birthday. I believe I had Breath of Fire, I had the cartridge, and she found the box, the manual, and the maps, so now it's complete. Breath of Fire 2, I had the cartridge, ended up getting a complete copy and flipping the cartridge to Stall Talk, so now I have 2 complete copies and was able to again recoup some of my funds, which is the most important thing here when trying to be thrifty. A couple heavy hitters coming up here, guys, and then one at the bottom of the pile that's not, which will be like an anticlimactic, but Soul Blazer complete in the box, including the map / poster. I had the cartridge and the manual, didn't have the box, didn't have the poster. A wonderful Enix RPG, the first of the whatever spiritual trilogy of the Illusion of Gaia and Terra Nigma. I ended up obviously acquiring a second copy of the game, sold that in the manual on eBay pretty quickly to recoup some of my funds, so basically ended up being like, I don't know, less than $100 for the map and the box, so that's awesome. That's like a $300+ game complete in the box, so I'm super happy about that. Again, gotta be thrifty, guys. Alright, some Holy Grails coming up. You know, I gotta save that. We'll save those to the end. Lagoon, a pretty cheap game to get complete in box on the SNES. Had the cartridge, so I ended up just acquiring the box in the manual in 2 separate auctions, and now it's complete. A game that I actually used to have a while back and sold, and now I've reacquired everything. I had it complete back in the day, but all right, home stretch here. I'm getting exhausted. I'm sure you guys are too, so let's just get this shit over with. Final Fantasy 2 and 3, don't get it twisted, already had these essentially complete in the box. All I got for these were the maps / whatever guide things that came with it. I already had the instruction manual, I already had the cartridge in the box. So pretty much I just got the maps that came with it, which are not very cheap, I'll say. They're a little bit more expensive than you think. Unfortunately, I have a huge tear in the back of my Final Fantasy 2 box. Feels bad, man. I acquired these so many years ago off a Craigslist deal. Like, we're talking probably 15 years ago at this point. Classic games, guys. If you haven't played these already, get to them. They're so good. Right. Another one that I used to have it in the box and I sold it, and now I got it back complete, which is great. Got it for a good price. Shadowrun. People say that the Sega Genesis version of this is actually better. They're both like different games, so at the end of the day, like, you'll get a different experience with both. But I used to have this, I wanted it back, I got it back, got it for a great price. Sometimes if you buy stuff from people from Canada and out of the country, you actually get like super good deals. They don't show up right away on eBay for you, but like they'll kind of suggest other shit to you out of country. And I don't know, people just are scared to buy it from some people, I guess. But anyway, I'm not. So ended up getting here really quickly in pretty good shape. It's a little used, but at the end of the day, all the batteries and stuff work in all these games, and I bought extras just in case I need to replace them anyway. So all right, final 2 games, guys. Holy Grails of the SNES RPG realm. Saw this at the store in Salem, was too expensive, so then I hawked an eBay auction, which actually had the guide that I discussed earlier, and I got it for cheaper than what the guy was trying to sell it for in the store, which was still a good price, mind you, because I got mine on an auction. And that's Ogre Battle, the March of the Black Queen. Apparently, from what I understand, the reason that this is expensive, besides the fact that it is an Enix RPG, this complete maps, manuals, everything's inside of it. Minty as hell too, by the way. It was a limited run game, like they really didn't produce that many, so this is like legitimately kind of a rare game. If I remember correctly, they only made, I could be pulling these numbers out of my asshole, but I think they only made 70-something thousand, somebody said. So like the run for this was like a lot lower than most games. So a legitimate rare game. And now we're gonna get to the last one here, which isn't really a rare game, it's just a very sought after and great game, which is why it's all expensive. And that's Chrono Trigger, complete in box. Comes with the manual and the 2 poster maps. And I also have the guide, which you saw. I had the cartridge for a long time. My old coworker and friend, Jake, who passed away a few years ago. Rest in peace, my friend. He sold me a couple of his SNES games, and one of them was Chrono Trigger, so I still have it. I'll never get rid of any of the games that he sold me. He sold me that. I think he sold me ActRaiser 2, Doom. Yeah, so. Anyways, I managed to find the box in a separate auction, the manual in a separate auction, and the 2 posters in an auction, and combined everything together to get the, probably, I mean, other than Final Fantasy VI, this is probably the best RPG of all time, I'd say. It's a little easy, but the narrative, you got the artwork from Akira Toriyama, Dragon Ball Z fame, Dragon Ball. Just good times all around, guys. Anyway, half-hour plus long video. Saw it coming. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I apologize for all the rambling. These are kind of just free-flowing. I have shit all around me. It's tough. I got a cat on my lap, but it is what it is. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I try to do pickup videos every month. I also do video game reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, blah, 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 all that type of shit. So if you're into retro video games, hit me up. Or horror movies, because I'll start including those in my, my videos as well. Have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you next time.